Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I don't know why I'm doing that voice. Hope you guys are well. It is, Wednesday? Hump Day. Is it Hump Day? Oh my goodness, I love Hump Day. It's time to get your hump on, guys. Get out there and hump. I really should come up with a Hump Day song. Hang on, guys. Forgot to take my medicine. 1 second. I'll be right with you. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a very good mood. Yesterday, they came in to put the heater in, and turned out they had to stop because, there was a part they didn't have. Whoops, let me bring Mike a little closer. They were missing a part. It was on back order. They started putting in my heater with a part on back order. About halfway through the day, the 3 guys that were working on it left. And so they went in 3 different directions trying to go find one of these things, and they couldn't find one. And then they came back and they told my wife about it. And so they came here today to get as much done as they could again, but not knowing they'd have the part. But luckily it came in. It's all hooked up. The boiler's running, and it is fucking amazing. It's even giving us better heat than the old one did. It seems to. It's like more even throughout the house. That thing must have been more fucked up than any of us thought. Because, yeah, it's nice in here. It's toasty. Hey, Vanilla Bear. Hey, Nuts. How you guys doing? Guys, we're going to talk about Shoe0nHead tonight. And I'm gonna lay some ground rules. Now, as always, you guys are allowed to have your own opinions. But also, as always, I don't much give a fuck. No offense. I like what I like. You like what you like. And if we have the same likes, that's great. If we don't, that's awesome. It's okay for people to be diverse. Thank you, Terry Diamandis. Your boiler is running. Better go catch it then. No, I like how it's running. It's doing laps in there like it's supposed to. Thank you for the donation. I saw a recommended video as I was getting ready to do this. And it was Shoe0nHead over on her Brainlet channel. And the title was, Have I Changed? Like, huh. And so I went and watched it. I know there's been a lot of controversy about this, and a lot of people talking about it over the last several years. Well, has it been a year, maybe a year and a half-ish? And I watched this video, and it's interesting because it's about how Sargon has made a video about Shoe and how she's changed. I don't know if that's true. I mean, we all change, of course. And Shoe even says in her video that the things that she believes, she's learned more about them, which has only cemented her opinion more, but that her opinion hasn't changed all that much. And as I'm watching, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, maybe the problem is that the conversations are different. You know what I mean? Maybe the problem isn't that Shoe has changed. Maybe the problem isn't that she's changed her mind in some drastic way that none of us saw coming. Maybe it's that none of us really knew what she believed. Now, I was thinking back real quick. This is Kyle. Thank you. Hello, chat people and monkey. Also, how dare you disagree with me? I will disagree with whoever I damn well want. But anyway, maybe it's not that she's changed. And listen to me, guys. Go back and think. Go back and think to all the Shoe0nHead videos you watched back when she was on your side. How much of it discussed, say, socialized medicine? How much of it discussed universal basic income, which I don't know if she believes in it, but anything like that? How much of it discussed topics like that? See, as I think back, I remember, the wage gap. I don't remember her suddenly believing in the wage gap. Have you guys seen that video from her? The Shoe0nHead, I was wrong about the wage gap, where I was wrong about mansplaining. Have you guys seen that? Because I haven't. So maybe what changed isn't her or even us. Maybe it's just a topic of discussion. Maybe it's just a topic of discussion. Maybe it's the things she's talking about. As I look back, I got to be honest. I can't say that I know what she believed past, well, basic anti-SJW stuff. Now, if suddenly there's a Shoe0nHead, I'm a free bleeder now video, then I go, whoa, fuck, shoes changed a little bit. But maybe it's just that it's different conversations. And I bring this up because it's something I run into. It's something I run into. There's a lot of people out there who assume I'm a Trump supporter. Both people who support Trump and people who hate him with all their heart. And I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not. I've said this countless times. But there's people who, if I don't take the right Trumpian line, if I don't take the right Republican line, they're like, oh, how dare you, monkey? I'm a lot more open with my opinions than Shoe has ever been. Not that she hides her opinions. It's just that she doesn't run a daily talk show where she lets everything hang out. I mean, I am more open probably than anybody you've ever met. Partially because I have to be to keep my show running. Evolved Potato, thank you. It's perfectly okay for you and other people to be wrong in their opinions. It's just natural for people not to agree with me on everything. Thank you, Evolved. I had to turn down my fucking volume. I'm getting blasted by these things. You guys are scaring the hell out of me. I was just playing the Ghost game, for Christ's sake. I don't think Shoe's changed all that much, to be honest. I think her content has changed. And that can really look, and it does. It really does look like she's changed if you just look back and go, okay, she made all this anti-SJW stuff. She must be right-wing. She must be conservative. She must believe in the free market and in, the free market, which, by the way, I do wholeheartedly. So me and her disagree on that. But I don't hate Shoe the way so many other people seem to. Thank you, formerly Rodline, who says she wasn't political before it was focused on SJW. Yeah, exactly. And Zach Osborne, thank you. Monk, she was dating Greg for a few years, and Greg was always a classical lib. She's changed hard. Trust me, I was there before Greg. Okay. I don't know when I started watching her and where that fits in the timeline of Armored Skeptic relationship. I'm going by what I've seen and going back to the first videos on Shoe0nHead. I honest to God, it's what formerly Rodline just said there. She didn't really cover political topics. It was the weird SJW stuff, which again, I've never seen her change her mind on. I'm trying to think of one of those topics, an SJW topic. Now, the only one that does come to mind was after the VidCon where she came out and she made that comment that still makes me cringe, that maybe their feelings are enough, talking about transitioning. I'm not somebody who believes feelings are the be all end all. I've heard people tell me, you can't say feelings are wrong. Like, yeah, I can. What if somebody feels anger so they stab someone? Especially if they were angry over something they thought that person did, but they didn't really do. I would say that emotion was wrong. Emotions can cloud your judgment. That doesn't mean you should ignore them entirely, but that's the only thing I can look at and say, okay, yeah, I've seen a change there. And she came out and she's admitted that part. But everything else, I mean, she changed her posting on the non-binary many gender stuff. She did say in her video that she's always believed in non-binary, and I don't know. I'm trying to remember a video from her about the non-binary stuff. And remember this, guys, we're talking about my memory. So, and I've seen a lot of her stuff too. That's what makes it so hard. I've watched a lot of people's content. Back in the day, I would make a video and then I'd spend the rest of the day watching other people's videos. I don't do that as much anymore. I can't remember the last time I did that. But I'm trying to remember her talking about that. like I said, everything I saw was making fun of silly SJW stuff, you know? So maybe I missed one or two. And if you got one that you think I should see, by all means, show me one that you think she's absolutely changed on. I'm willing to look, but I'm willing to believe her that she's believed these things all along. And until you ask somebody about something, you don't know where they stand. You know, there's a lot of people who would look at, say, Satsu or your boy Pat and go, they must support Joe Biden. They never said they didn't. Now both of them have, but you know, if they hadn't heard them say, they must support Joe Biden, they're black. You know, or you must support Joe Biden, you're a woman. You must support Joe Biden, you're Mexican. There's a lot of things that we fill in the blanks ourselves because we don't know. We fill in the blanks for questions that we don't have the answers to with what makes sense. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're taking an educated guess. Zach, thank you. I feel anger, so I'm going to stab this button for Bernie. Oh, wait, it says Clinton. Now, oh, well, I'm going to stab this button for Bernie. Oh, wait, it says Biden. I get what you're getting at there. I think it was less true during the Clinton one, but God damn it, Faithless. I'm not reading that one out loud, but we'll get to news stories, guys, because we missed a lot of news yesterday, plus quite a bit today. But this topic interests me because I am interested in people. I'm a people watcher, always have been. It's kind of the consequence of growing up shy most of your early childhood. I didn't come out of my shell until I was 14, you guys. So most of the time that I was in school and stuff, I had friends and I'd talk to them. Most of the time I was just watching people, and it's something I love to do. I like to watch people. I like to see how things go and how they react. And this is an interesting one. I talked about Milo Stewart before, and how Milo Stewart and what's the other one? Ash Hardell. Those are two people that we actually got to watch the SJW transformation entirely online. And it was fascinating, and for Milo, horrifying to watch. Like Ash Hardell, you see her. She starts out as this young, bubbly, beautiful college girl who turns into this, wannabe dude with hair dysphoria. And you see Milo, who's somebody who either has deep mental problems or is desperately looking for a way to fill a hole in their life. And they latched onto some Tumblr bullshit to the point that they actually started taking hormones, which is a bad idea. Would you rather get abducted or kidnapped by a Bigfoot or a furry, and why? Bigfoot, because I think we'd have a lot to talk about. I do wonder, because in her video, she kind of suggests that Sargon has changed. And even there, I don't know that he has. I don't know that he has. If you listen to all of his statements going quite a ways back, there's not a whole lot I can say Sargon really changed on. At least not from what I saw. And remember, guys, I don't watch near as much Sargon as most people do. So maybe there's something. But again, how much of it was he actually changed, and how much is it that you don't know what he thought about a certain subject until recently? You know? Did you watch Sargon's video on this? I haven't seen his side of it, and I will watch it. I've seen clips, unfortunately. I saw clips of his before I saw this. Somebody had shared it out on Twitter, but I was busy at the time, so I didn't have a chance to go watch the whole thing. Sargon did a video saying that he has moved to the right in the last few years and is now closer to the center. Okay. That's funny. There'd be a lot of people who said he was on the right to begin with. So him moving further right wouldn't make him center unless you believe in that classical liberal bullshit.
I'm a classical liberal.
What's that mean?
It means I'm a Republican who won't say I am.
I don't know why I went to that voice for that. Anytime somebody says, I'm a classical liberal, I laugh because it's like, shut up. Just admit you're a conservative, for fuck's sake. Why are people so afraid of that? Why are you so afraid of it?
I'm a classical liberal.
Why? Because if you say you're a conservative, they're going to throw slurs at you that they're throwing already? Jesus fucking Christ. Anyhow, and I know there's people in the audience who call themselves that. Stop doing it. Stop. Anyhow. But yeah, to wrap it up, I don't want to spend too much more time on this because there's not a lot more to say. Just go back and watch if you guys disagree with me on this. Just go read the video titles most of the time and go see what she was actually talking about and see how much of it. Go see how many videos she did on, private healthcare being great. How many videos she did on billionaires being awesome or the wealth gap being okay. Because there's a difference between the wage gap and the wealth gap. The wealth gap is real. It's nonsense and doesn't mean anything, but it is real, unlike the wage gap, which is utter nonsense. But anyway, so those are my thoughts on that. I'm not sure that she's changed, but it's just what she's talking about, not necessarily what you guys heard her talk about before. I'm not sure that she's suddenly into mansplaining. And again, if she ever makes a shoe is free bleeding video, I'm out. But for now, I'm still a fan. So be fair, guys. Be fair. It's very easy to I saw a thing on Twitter yesterday, maybe it was the day before, said I take a lot of shit for being a conservative and supporting, or not supporting, for reading Stephen King, saying he's my favorite author. And see, the problem is Stephen King, he's very liberal. So how dare you like Stephen King? How dare you support that liberal shithead? He writes good books that I like. Now, that's not me speaking. It's them. And it reminded me of the Hamilton thing, because anytime I talk about Hamilton, some of you lose your fucking mind.
I hate that shit. I'd never watch that shit. That's some shit.
Like, calm down. You don't have to like what I like. And yes, there are things that liberals have done and made that I enjoy. Unfortunately. Frankly, there's a lot of stuff that I see that are made by conservatives that are just like, oh, that's shit. Some of them make good stuff, but a lot of it is like, ew, that sucks. Stop doing that. Officer Buck, thank you. I have an easier time believing a 20-something who's gone through a major breakup has changed than a mid-30s family man has. Why? Shoe's getting close to 30, ain't she? And isn't Sargon getting close to the 4-0? Anybody can change. I know we're told that nobody changes. Nobody ever changes. Anybody can change. Anybody can change. Especially if there's a monetary resource or reason behind it. If there's a major life change, as you're hinting at there, there's a lot of reasons people can change. I'm just saying I haven't seen the evidence of it. The only thing I've seen evidence of is change of topic rather than change of beliefs. So that is my 2 cents. Take it or leave it. And yeah, maybe sometimes people just aren't what you thought they were. Or at least there's more to them than you thought there was. Should we talk about Joe Biden? Or more specifically, Hunter Biden? Oh my God. I almost titled the stream, "The Horrible Allegations Against against Hunter Biden. Real quick, there's a donation. Let me get this before we move on. Thank you, Rodline. She was vocally pro Bernie in 2016. This shouldn't be such a surprise to people. If I remember correct, she always said she wasn't conservative or Republican, but she was in a culture war aligned with some of the conservatives and classic libs. Yes, exactly. And ex-Bubba Hotep, thank you. But the real question, did they change their mind on whether cereal is soup? You know, I don't know what Shoe believes about that. And I don't know Sargon either. I know Sargon did once answer whether or not he tongue butter a turtle cave. And if I remember correctly, he said yes. Or at least he said it was okay to tongue butter a turtle cave. I forget. I know it was that actually happened. Jordan, thank you. You've changed, Monkey. You used to make videos. I still do occasionally. Me and Jack were talking about that just the other night. Because here's the truth, guys. You grow a channel with videos and you sustain a channel with these. People like their short videos. And I don't know. The one thing that seems true enough is I could be the next Tim Pool, even though I'm better than him. All you got to do is take parts of my stream and cut them out and make it a whole video by itself. All right, you guys, here's what the Democrats are doing today. All right, here we go. Here he goes. And just talk for 20 minutes, clip that out and make a fucking video out of it. And maybe I will. I don't know, but it seems so lazy to me. I just don't know. Zach, thank you. You all want to stop talking about Shoe and Greg. They suck. They're uninteresting. One is a pedophile. One is, oh my God, look how socialist I am on the internet. Who cares? But the real question, Monkey, what are you drinking? I like talking about people on the internet. I find people interesting. What am I drinking? I am drinking Diet Pepsi as always. Always. And again, you guys don't have to be fans. I don't much care if you like what I like or not. I hope you do, but if you don't, I'm the guy who'll come out and argue about Nickelback with you. I don't give a fuck. I like what I like. If you don't like it, that's your problem, not mine. Hunter Biden, we found out why his dad doesn't talk about him, why his dad would prefer to concentrate on the dead kid. Whew. There's a lot of things going on there. So the other day, this laptop pops up. We'll go through the whole story real quick. A laptop is brought into a repair center in Delaware for water damage. It supposedly has a Beau Biden Foundation sticker on it. I can't remember. I think the paperwork was filled out and it was said that it was for Hunter Biden. But the repair shop owner said he couldn't say for sure it was Hunter Biden who dropped it off. Somehow he notifies the feds that he has this. The feds subpoena it. The FBI subpoenas it. He makes a copy of the hard drive, sends the original to the FBI, gives the other one to Rudy Giuliani's lawyer. Rudy, who gives it to Rudy Giuliani, who takes it to the New York Post. And we had everything that happened with Twitter shutting people down for repeating the story. Now, it's been alleged that an email that may not have been on that laptop, that came from somewhere else, actually, shows that Hunter Biden was engaged in a illegal relationship with a 14-year-old girl. Oops. And there was a story that came out of Breitbart, so take it for what you will. There's a lot of people like, oh, it's Breitbart, so you can't believe it. Breitbart breaks news all the time, so they're about as accurate as CNN. So I hate people like, oh, it came from Breitbart. Shut the fuck up. Prove it right or wrong. Otherwise, shut up, because if you're believing CNN and going, oh my God, Breitbart, then you're a fucking idiot. And if you don't believe any of them, okay, you're just a pessimistic shithead. And I can understand that and appreciate it. B Junkie says text messages. Yeah. But there's a story that came out that the guy who led the feds to the accusations against Hunter has been put in protective custody in prison because he's in prison for something and he decided to spill the beans while he was in there. So way to be the black sheep of the family, dude. Your brother, I mean, goes off to serve his country, serves with distinction, comes out, goes into politics like dad, and as far as we know, there was nothing really horrible about Bo. Poor bastard gets brain cancer and passes, and you're running around letting hookers shove meth up your ass in a seedy bar. The fuck happened to you, dude? Now, again, you can't really blame Joe for this. I mean, all you can do is your best when trying to raise your kid, and then after that, you know, that guy in prison is going to get very sad. That's why they put him in protective custody. Yeah, that does not look good. That does not look good. If that is true, if they really did move this guy and put him in some protective custody for what he told the FBI, it doesn't matter if Joe Biden wins or not. Hunter's going to end up in prison. He's going to go to prison, man. And if he was in a relationship with a 14-year-old girl, his little ass needs to. And sorry, let me stop saying that. If he was raping a 14-year-old girl, he needs to be in prison. It's where his little shitty ass belongs. And there's a good chance this could sink Joe's candidacy. The problem is, much like the laptop itself, the press. Well, let's talk about the laptop for a moment. On the laptop, there was an email thread. I'm guessing I don't know why you would save that. I don't know why you'd save this. But an email thread, which has reportedly been verified by somebody that was involved in it, that basically shows Joe Biden used the power of our government to help his kids, the company his kid was working for, that his kid had no business working for. Hunter Biden had no experience in gas. He had no experience in the job they put him in, paying him, what was it, $50 million a year? Is that what it was? And it looks like they gave him that job so that they could use him to get to Hunter's dad, who was a vice president at the time. Thank you, Val. Hey, Monk, got held over at work tonight, so here's some cash to keep me awake on the way home. Thank you so much for that. And you drive safe on the way home. Please be careful out there. I save all my emails. I save all of mine, but I don't save them on my computer. $50K a month. Thank you. I know it was a shit ton of money that he was making. But I don't save them on my computer. They're all in my mailboxes. I have all that shit. I just let it fill up. Most of it I don't even read. If you guys email me, make sure you tell me you did, because otherwise I'm not going to find the shit. This could end up sinking Biden's candidacy, which is, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want Joe Biden to be president, but I don't like it being that way. I don't like it being because his son is a screw up. I'd rather it be for Joe Biden being a horrible candidate who shouldn't have made it as far as he did. I would rather it be because the news finally came out and pointed out what a lying cocksucker this motherfucker is and how he has sold influence in the past and told us he's done it, and that he spent his entire fucking career saying nothing real, that he gets fact checked all the time, and every time they check it, it's like, oh shit, Joe just made shit up again. I'd rather it be for that. But if it sinks in because of this, I'm not going to cry. I mean, it's a horrible thing, but damn. And if he did do what's suggested, because there's people who like, this is exactly what Trump was accused of with Biden using his power. No, it's not. It's not actually. There's a big difference. There's a huge difference. In the case of Biden, it would be so that his son could get a big fat ass job, which is kind of a kickback to Joe. I think it was saved for blackmail just in case Dad ever decided to let Hunter hang himself out to dry. Yeah, I don't know what it is. And it's October, you guys, so people are going to be pulling out their biggest punches against each other. There was a story today about how Trump had a secret bank account in China from the New York Times. I haven't read the story yet. The headline is very salacious. Trump's secret China bank account. But it sounds like it was one he had before he ran for office or something like that and might not have now. It's more of their bullshit. And by the way, how are you getting so much financial information on this guy? I'm having trouble believing it has gotten legally. Sorry, New York Times, you lying shitbags. I have trouble believing you do anything legally. Evolved Potato, thank you. I put an interesting thread on the hashtag. It has an interesting line of events that makes a bit of sense. Like, why Joe didn't run in 2016? Because that's the year that Bo was going to go center stage and his death messed up the plan. Very interesting. I will do my best to remember to take a look at it. I don't think Joe ran in 2016 because the party didn't want him to. Are we covering the debate this Thursday? I don't know what's happening with the debate. We talked about it kind of on the show tonight, but we didn't get a chance to talk about it off air. So, Frank, thank you. The FBI has had the hard drive since December. Yeah, it was December 19th or something like that. 29th. I forget when it was that the subpoena or whatever it was written. But everybody's going to be throwing their biggest punches right now because everybody wants that October surprise. For those of you who are unaware of what an October surprise is, elections, this is why I tell you guys, the polls don't mean much. And I don't mean that the polls don't mean anything because they go back and forth or they're wrong or it has nothing to do with that. A lot of times, mid-October, a giant story will drop that changes the polls. And I forget who was the first October surprise. There's a history to this, and I don't remember who it was, but it absolutely changed the race, and that's what they shoot for now. They will save their biggest, dirtiest secret that they've dug up until October, so that they can try to get it. It's usually about 2 weeks out because that's about how long it takes to affect everything. If a company does business in China, they have to have a China bylaw and Chinese partner. They tacked on secret to make it sound seedy. Oh, is that what they did, Raul? Raul. Jesus Christ, monkey. I just say what my brain sees. Yeah, like I said, if you read the headlines, like, oh my God, and then you read like the under the subheading there, and you almost hear it as I'm going, by the way, we lied in the headline. Like, Jesus fuck. It's kind of like Rachel Maddow, when we have Trump's tax. Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta sound more like here. We have Trump's taxes. And then turned out to be from 2005 and nobody gave a fuck and they made fun of her for it. She didn't lie. They had Trump's taxes. It was just none that anybody gave a shit about. So they might not be lying with that headline. Secret because nobody knew. Did you guys know? I sure as fuck didn't know. So it was a secret. He didn't tell us about it. All right. I suppose if that's how you want to do it. Hey, Bear, how you doing, man? I don't know. This election is a weird one, guys. We were asked tonight, if the events of today, I believe it was, have changed our mind on things. And I really don't know. I see Trump is starting to bounce back. He is starting to make progress. There was even a few stories that I saw that were like, oh, this is proof that he's coming back, and they're scared as fuck. Like the Donald Trump makes a mocking statement that Joe's going to follow the scientists. Did you guys see that stupid nonsense? Trump is giving a speech, and in it, he says that Biden would follow the scientists, and he's mocking him. There's a good reason to mock somebody who says they'll only follow the scientist. You know why? Well, couple actually. One, they've been wrong repeatedly. If you believe everything that we're supposed to do right now with COVID, the scientists have been wrong repeatedly. Going all the way back to, well, when they first told us it couldn't be passed between humans. That you had to pick it up from somewhere, that it couldn't be aerosoled. That was a thing that the scientists were telling us at one point. If he followed the scientists, we wouldn't have shut down the border between us and China, because there would have been no reason to. There's so many things, if you would have followed the scientists, would have been bad, because you know what? It's all guesswork right now because nobody fucking knows. It was a brand new disease. Not to mention the fact that a lot of these scientists have been wrong over and over and over and over again on other things. Once again, the guy who predicted how many deaths there would be in America has made outlandish predictions about every disease, every pandemic for like the last 2 decades. And he has been not only wrong, but spectacularly wrong. Mind-blowingly wrong. Like, if you worked at Walmart and you were giving a customer their change and you were as wrong as this guy was, you'd be fired and probably arrested. They would think you stole from them. He has never been close to right, and that is the scientist you're following. Again, I'm not saying don't follow the science. Stay abreast as best you can, but if we're being honest here, the science on this has changed repeatedly. So which one are you going with? And then there's the fact that scientists disagree. They don't all agree on how to deal with it. You have WHO right now coming out, World Health Organization, guys, coming out and telling us we shouldn't have lockdowns unless absolutely necessary. We shouldn't have lockdowns. What have we been told since March? Since March. We need to lock things down. Well, who the fuck do we believe? Which scientist are you going with, Joe? And Joe came out, going with the scientists is good. All right, Joe, which fucking ones? It's a good thing you have dementia, because you can agree with both of them on the same day without even realizing it. Fucking moron. So yeah, they made a big deal out of it. The thing is, Trump explains why he's mocking that. Because of course he does. And of course they don't give any context to it. So, oh my God, Trump is. And you know why they did that? Because they've started to make progress by pushing this whole Trump is killing 200,000 Americans. Because they're repeating it over and over and beating it in. And it's had a toll. It really has. If I was Trump right now, I would be playing up the World Health Organization thing a lot. Be like, Joe Biden, which scientists do you listen to? Do we lock down or not? Because they're telling us we shouldn't. Come on, Joe, make the decision. I know you're not the president, but make a fucking decision, you little bitch. I'm so tired of that motherfucker and his refusal to answer fucking questions. And then subject, Trump won't show his taxes. Shut the fuck up. At least he'll answer a fucking question. He's answered the, will you denounce white supremacy like fucking 500 times since 2017, and you motherfuckers won't listen. You just keep asking the same question. You ask Joe Biden a question, he tells you, I'm not going to answer that, and you're just like, oh, well, fuck it. All right. And they go, Trump won't answer. You guys are fucking assholes. Snubber, thank you. A guy on Twitter said it best. They worship science, not follow its principles. That is true. That is true. The first thing that I ever noticed seemed to become a religion was science. And Evolved Potato, thank you. But monkey scientists are infallible gods. And when other scientists disagree with our scientists, they're either not actual scientists or they're paid by the opposition. Get with the program. Thank you for the donation. And yeah, I'll get back to that. Thank you, Frank, who says he doesn't have the blood to give an answer. Yeah, he does. He doesn't have the stones to give an answer. Because Biden is a bullshit politician. He always has been. I cannot believe this motherfucker is a heartbeat from the presidency. Say what you want about fucking Trump. Biden is a disaster waiting to happen. I'm telling you. Do not vote for that fuck. The first thing I noticed was science. And it actually started with atheism. Because as an atheist, and I just started noting this, like, you fucking people are acting like it's a religion. And then you have the global warming thing. Like, you guys are you call them deniers, for fuck's sake. And then you have the politics that has started to come on. It goes back to, humans seem to need a religion, and there's a lot of people who worship science. That is a very good way of putting it, and have no idea what science really is. Science is the search for truth. Find out what makes this work, what makes that work, how do we fix this? And you can't do that if you have a conclusion, test it, find out your conclusion's wrong, and then insist the test was bad. Because that's what we do with science now. The good thing is there are still a lot of scientists out there who are doing their job and who are advancing science. Saw a really cool thing the other day. It's science that actually goes back to the 30s, but it's a probe thing they put in the brain of Parkinson's patients. I forget what it's called exactly, but there's this video of this guy who has Parkinson's, and this woman goes, okay, touch my nose and then touch your nose, touch my nose and then your nose. And he raises his finger and he's shaking so bad he can't even touch his own fucking nose. And she goes, okay, grab that cup on the table and take a drink. And he reaches over to grab it, and it takes him forever to get his hand to it. And he just starts shaking the fuck out of it. And then she's over on her little computer. She's like, all right, how's that? And he goes, so much better. And then they redo the tests. And he shakes a tiny little bit when he's going back and forth, but he touches his nose and then hers. That's science. That is the result of actual science being applied in helping humanity. It's fucking amazing what we can do. Unfortunately, we have way too many of them who want to be famous. Way too many of them who want to be famous. Evolved Potato said that is awesome. Yeah, if I still had the video, did I retweet that? I can't remember if I did or not. It's fucking amazing. Nuts as she saw it. Yeah, it was awesome. And that's hope for people like me. People like me. They can reach down into the brain and stimulate it to stop this poor bastard from shaking like fuck. That's neural stimulation. That's something that maybe one day will help people like me so that we don't feel this pain, That's real science being applied. And then on the other hand, we have people who've been telling us the sky's falling for the last 40 fucking years. Fuck, even longer than that. The sky is falling, you guys. We know because we made this computer model over here, and we told it to tell us the sky is falling, and it told us the sky is falling. Thank you, Mighty Balzac. Those Antifa mugshots made me believe in phrenology. Stop it. You're going to get us in trouble here. And again, not saying global warming isn't happening. I'm saying the way they're treating the science of it is utter bullshit. You can't call it science. It is nonsense. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry. 2/3 of the landmass on the planet didn't disappear underwater in 2005 because the scientists forgot that trees breathe carbon dioxide. Those are our scientists. Those are the ones Joe's going to listen to. For fuck's sake. Jackie Logic says, oh, is that why you use the calculator analogy? Yeah. That's when they say a global warming model. Do you know what they're talking? They're literally talking about somebody programming a computer. So, okay. Let's say we decide, oh, thank you, Corey. Science literally saved my life from stage 4 cancer. Indeed. And I'm glad it did. That's real science right there. But this is what they do for global warming. Let's say they've decided that another 1 part per million of CO2 in the air will increase the temperature by 10 degrees. And that with 10 degrees temperature, oceans will rise 10 feet. So then what they do is go, okay, we're going to write a program that says that happens. And then they go, okay, 1 part per million more CO2. Oh my God, this thing says the oceans are going to rise. Well, of course it does. You told it to say that, you dumb motherfucker. Shouted Angel, thank you. Scientist, in air quotes, indeed. Oh, yeah. Computer models have their place. There's a lot of things you can do with a computer model. Basically, a calculator is a computer model. It models the math for you so you don't have to think about it. That's all it is. It's a what would happen if, but you have to have all the ifs in there if you're going to have it worth a shit. And you can't go into it being biased. Unfortunately, they do. And see, instead of going, okay, it went up a part per million, the sea level didn't rise 10 feet. Instead of going, we must have had it wrong, they go, we need an excuse here. Tell them we didn't think about the trees. Instead of going, we were wrong here, we need to rebuild this model because it doesn't work. They're like, tell them it's going to happen next year instead. Thank you, Frank. They seem to have forgotten that the method is to prove yourself wrong, not prove yourself right. Yeah. The scientific method, you do start with a conclusion. This is your theory. That's your conclusion. Now, it's not the final conclusion, but it's your thought process. That's what you concluded. That's your theory. And then you test it. And if it matches and the tests all prove you right, then that's your conclusion. But yes, my theory was correct. Like if I drop this penny, it's going to bounce off the floor 3 times and then land flat. And you do it and it doesn't bounce 4 times. Like, oh, I was wrong. If I drop it, then it bounces 4 times. Oh, I was wrong. New conclusion. And then you test that theory. And you keep testing it until you get it fucking right. You know, just change the test over and over again because you think you're fucking right and trying to prove. You're not there to prove your theory. You're there to find the truth. I hate these people. I fucking hate these people. They are ruining science, at least a good part of it. Anyway, moving on. So we have the election stuff. Jeffrey Toobin. We didn't talk about Jeffrey Toobin because we weren't here to talk about it. But we're going to talk about a thread I read today. We're actually going to read it because it was, it was rather fucking amazing. It was so fucking stupid, you guys. You guys know I go to Twitter to find stupid, and there are very few days that I can say, man, I didn't find any. And usually those days are, well, when I couldn't get on Twitter. Jeffrey Toobin, who works for CNN and the New Yorker, got caught masturbating in a Zoom call for, what is it, New Yorker employees? That was what it was for, right? This dumb motherfucker thinks he mutes himself. And for some reason, he doesn't understand that muting doesn't turn off his camera. And so he starts wanking it live in front of everyone. The story comes out. Yeah, Bear, right. Who hasn't been caught masturbating in a Zoom call? All right, my thoughts first. I don't care that he masturbated. I really don't. He should learn how his fucking camera works. This is another problem with putting these airheads on television or in their meetings or whatever it is these days. They're not used to being the ones who control this shit. If say me and Bear were talking, I would know how to turn off my fucking camera because I do this for a living. Jeffrey Toobin lets other people do that for him while he just comes up there and gives his opinion. Pretty cushy job until you get caught masturbating on a Zoom call. He doesn't understand how his technology works. He does what the producers tell him to usually. Oops. You know it's bad when you make the same mistake as Darkside Phil, right? Except for BG, from what we've heard, when Darkside Phil did it, you only see his head and his shoulder. Apparently, everybody got to see the little Toobin too. Wait, Monkey Wank's been talking to Alex. Yeah, but I don't have a camera, so he doesn't know. So, is what it is. And he knows how to turn off his camera for when he does it. I saw a lot of people who made jokes about this. And you know what? That's fine. He earned the shame he's going to get for this. Now, as a society, it should just be jokes. Like, dude, you fucked up. You fucked up. But that doesn't mean he should like have to go away forever, you know? I don't know Jeffrey Toobin. I can't say I've ever saw anything from him. I'm sure he's a shitty liberal because he's on CNN, so I probably wouldn't like him. But I don't think he should be canceled over not understanding how his fucking camera works. The dude got a little horny and masturbated. But a couple of stories came out about how he's always been a horrible person, you guys. Did you know he's hit on women before? He said some horrible things to him. And he's also, I don't know if you guys know this, in the midst of a paternity suit right now from some bitch he was banging, even though he's married. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't care. I don't care. He's a shitty person. All right. He cheats on his wife. Okay. None of that means he can't tell the news. And if you can find somebody better that you'd rather have up there, that's fine. But dragging this out because he got caught masturbating is fucking stupid. He wasn't hurting anybody. Which leads us to this fucking story, or this fucking thread from Miss Pixie Lauren. Let's talk about what Toobin did. A triggering and terrible thread. It's all in caps, you guys. That last part is a triggering and terrible thread. In case you haven't heard, here. And I'm going to throw this whole thread in here if you guys want to see it. But they link to the story about him getting busted masturbating. And then she goes on. I'm fucking floored at how people are talking about this. Oh, I should be doing the other voice, huh? I've heard things like, it was accidental. Poor guy, he didn't mean to get caught jerking off, right? He's sorry. He's embarrassed. He didn't know the camera was still on. What? Jerking off during a work meeting is deliberate. He was aware he was participating in a work meeting. This is not in dispute. He thought his camera and mic were off, but he knew he was in a work meeting. So man with fame, clout, authority, in work meeting pulls out his dick and masturbates, thinking nobody will notice. How is that not sexual harassment of the highest magnitude? Consider this question. Why did he choose to masturbate during a meeting? There's more to this. And we'll get to it in a second. Why did he choose to masturbate during a meeting? Ladies, I know you're not going to understand this. You never will. But we think about masturbating at all the wrong times. We think about sex at all the wrong times. We think about our dick at the wrong times. We think about your vaginas at the wrong times. If it's a gay man, he thinks about his friend's dick at the wrong times. Sometimes you're sitting there and you go, nobody's around. Fuck it. I'll jerk off. For no reason. I have literally jerked off simply because I was bored. Just like, fuck it. I guess I'll jerk off. Now, I know there's probably a couple of nymphomaniacs out there who do it. Most women aren't like that, and you don't understand it. You're not just bored and go, I should probably rub it. We do. It's just, we can't explain it. Our dicks are powerful. They have a control over us. We learn to stop. That's why when you're growing up, your mom says, stop touching that thing, because we touch it constantly. We have to learn not to. You know why? It feels good. Anyway, our insane little pixie here goes on. I'll tell you why. I didn't get that quite right. I'll tell you. Oh, I can't do it. Now I've broken myself with doing the devil voice in between. I'll tell you why. Because for men like him, there's an additional thrill in masturbating when people might catch you. All right. Time out right there. When people might catch you. If he had turned his mic off or his camera off, there would be literally no way for anybody to catch him. None. This isn't like jerking off under the table in a restaurant. This isn't like jerking off in a train underneath your coat. It's a dude who thought nobody could see him. Not maybe somebody could see him. Thought nobody could see him. You fucking weirdo. Anyway. An additional thrill to do this during a work meeting. Again, how is it not plainly a choice he made to sexualize his workplace? On purpose. To sexualize his workplace. He was at home. He was at home. Now look, this was a work meeting. He shouldn't have jerked off. But he was at home. He wasn't in the office. It's not like he ran into his office real quick during me. I'll be right back, boss. Runs into his office, jerks it under the table real quick, and comes back. He was at home. He was at home, thought he'd turned it off so nobody could see him. He literally thought he was alone. This is making way more of it than what it actually was. My brain just like fucked up there because this is annoying me. Should have heard me how many times I swore reading this the first time. A tactic of a lot of harassers and abusers is to accidentally get caught with their dicks out. Oops, just an accident. But they've exposed themselves to their victim just the same. They get the thrill, but they also have plausible deniability. Once again, he literally didn't know that the camera was on. He wasn't trying to accidentally show his dick to anyone. He was a moron. He was just a moron. Why are New Yorker and CNN treating Tubin with so much respect and deference? He admitted he did it, yet New Yorker only has suspended him while they investigate. If you believe the people who reported it, what is there to investigate? He admitted and apologized. It's even worse at CNN, where they said they've granted him time off while he deals with a personal issue. Why is Tubin allowed to control what happens to him? Why are you letting him control the narrative, CNN? Maybe because it didn't happen to CNN. You know? Maybe. I'm just throwing this out there. They're not going to fire him for something he did somewhere else on accident. You fucking bitch. But we're not done yet, guys. We got a ways to go in this sad retelling of this. And I'm fucking my voice all up by doing this, so I apologize because I can hear it already. It's slipping. My voice is like, nah, Frank, stop doing that shit. But I'm gonna try anyway. Where are we at here? I have been harassed at work by a boss who had accidentally leave porn playing on his work computer. The thrill he must have felt when I saw the porn and felt sickened. That was what it was about for him. That horrifying moment when I saw it. But plausible deniability. All right. Maybe, and I'm just throwing this out there. Your boss didn't give a shit if you saw porn on his computer or not, and it had nothing to do with you seeing it. You were interrupting. He was trying to take care of some business, and your bitch ass was probably there to whine about something that didn't matter. Unless you know he was doing it for that reason, that's a guess. That's you thinking more highly of yourself. That is you trying to sexualize yourself, you silly cunt. Oh, I said the C word. Whoops, my bad. Again, how is Tubin any different from my creeper boss who left porn on his computer for me to accidentally find? Tubin knew he was participating in that meeting. He chose to jerk off because of the risk was thrilling. That makes it sexual harassment of his coworkers. We'll come back to that. Once again, the narrative at New Yorker and at CNN is being controlled by men who are saying how embarrassing it must be for Tubin. Did anyone ask an expert in workplace sexual harassment for their opinion before publishing such kind and gentle version of events? Did anybody ask an expert in workplace harassment? An expert in workplace harassment. Is that a fucking thing? How many more of these do we have to go? There's 2 more. Do we ever learn anything? Doesn't anybody remember #MeToo? Listen, to those of us who've had our workplaces sexualized by creeps like Tubin, accidentally or no, it does not matter. The end is still the same. Postscript. Excuses in my mentions from Tubin's apologist. He was at home. It was private. I'm sex shaming him. He thought his camera was off. It was harmless and didn't hurt anyone. He said sorry. I'm a feminist shrew for even tweeting about it. The end. Yeah, I think the postscript actually summed it up nicely. The bitch would actually listen. He did think he was alone in his house. He may have even been beating off to one of the women on screen. I don't fucking know. Chances are he got bored with the meeting and decided to rub one out because he could. He's like, fuck it, I'll just turn off my camera and rub one out. They won't know. But it's just like her boss leaving porn accidentally for her to find. Bitch, how do you know it was there for you to find? When I read this, I thought about House, because House used to do that. He'd be watching porn and people would come in and they're, oh my God. You're like, you never seen naked people before? And he wasn't doing it to show it to them. He just happened to be watching porn when they came in. What Tubin did was stupid. That's all it was. It was stupid. He didn't know how to turn off his fucking camera. There's absolutely no suggestion anywhere that he's tried exposing himself to women before. There's no suggestion that he didn't think he turned off the camera. If you're going to take, she's like, he's already said he did it. Well, yeah, but he also said he didn't want to. He thought he had the camera off. So why are you going to believe one and not the other? Oh, because one harkens back to those horrible days when your boss made you see all that porn. That horrible porn. I hope it was anal porn. I really do. I hope it was something that just fucked this woman up for life. Oh my God, I saw porn at work. Shut up. This was some overly sensitive nonsense from this woman. Don't you guys remember Me Too? Whatever happened to Me Too? Well, it blew up because it was mostly nonsense. The press finally decided to go after Harvey Weinstein, and in the process decided that they could witch hunt a few other guys to make men afraid. I'm afraid of no women. Fuck off. Power move, tubing his alpha as fuck. No, I think he's embarrassed as hell. And he deserves the embarrassment. He does. He deserves some ribbing for it. And maybe some people think he should be fired. I don't. He did. If there was any kind of indication that he did it on purpose, then sure. But again, this isn't him, leaving his cubicle, walking down the aisle, beating his dick as hard as he could, making sure everybody saw it. Thank you, Zach Osborne. He says, bruh, you've seen the naked screenshot? He was completely naked. All of the sensor bars were way too big. It looked like a baby carrot. There were fake ones going around, so make sure you're looking at the right ones. I haven't seen them because I don't like dick, so I haven't gone looking. He thought mute meant the camera was off. Does he think that mute people are invisible? From the way he said it, it just sounds like he thought mute would turn off his camera. And I forget the exact wording that was used. But yeah, it sounds like he thought muting it also made it so they couldn't see him. Oops. Yeah. I don't feel bad for I feel a little bad for him because the whole world knows he was jerking off at work. But otherwise, he did it. He did do it, guys. But I don't think it's any kind of sexual harassment at work, and that notion is fucking retarded. It's not stupid. It's not dumb. It's fucking retarded. Women, we need to talk because you guys do this way too much. And it's not just women, in fairness, but it's mostly women. You guys are very empathetic, and it's a good quality. It's a great quality. Until you take it too far, to the point that everything that happens to anybody else, you can relate to a tragedy in your own life, even when it doesn't fit. Like our little pixie here. Our little pixie here has decided that Jeffrey, in his own home, masturbating when he thought the fucking camera was off, is exactly the same as her boss purposefully having porn on his computer to make her feel awkward. No. It's not even close, sweetheart. Not even close. Fuck him, feel bad for his kids. No, that's a hard thing to get known for. Very few people will even admit to masturbating. Most of them, if you want to see something funny, guys, when you're in a social setting and there's conversation, if you get a chance to mention that you masturbate, do it and watch what happens. People are like, oh my God, I can't believe you're talking like that. Oh my God, he's talking about touching his willy. I'm like, shut up. You all masturbate. Shut the fuck up. And you have those people, I don't masturbate. Yes, you do. I stopped. I made a conscious effort to stop. Have you guys run into those people? Isn't there some month you're not supposed to masturbate if you're a weird male? Like no no masturbating May or some stupid shit like that. Shut the fuck. Just, it's not hurting you. It makes it so men don't want women. Have you heard that shit? It makes it so men don't want women. All right, I got it. All right, ladies, listen to me here. And I know it was the guys who say that, but you ladies really have to understand this. A lot of the time we masturbate, it's got nothing to do with you. Nothing. It's not even sexual. It just feels good, and we want to. It's like, yeah, fuck it, done. Paul, thank you. On the clock is on the clock. Doesn't matter where you are. You should have waited until the meeting was over. I'm not saying you shouldn't have waited till the meeting was over. I'm saying that this is not like being in the boardroom and pulling your dick out while somebody's giving a presentation at the front, and suddenly people start hearing. It's an entirely different beast. Yes, he absolutely should have been more professional. I cannot stress that enough. Yes, he should have. But it's not the same as if he had done this in the workplace. This was in his home. Remember, guys, we have all new rules to stuff. All new rules. And no, that doesn't mean you can masturbate openly during a Zoom meeting with your boss. But if the camera's off, what the fuck? Camera's off and you get that feeling, yank it. Get the cranking old yank. It's home life and work life have been twisted together in an unhealthy way. I kind of agree with that. I worked at home for a while, and I didn't like it. I thought I would. It was nice because it dropped my commute to nothing, but I was disconnected from my coworkers. That was probably the hardest part of it. You just lose a sense of being there at the office, which there's something to that. But anyway, the main point here, and I get you. He shouldn't masturbate. Fine. But at least be willing to admit it's not the same as masturbating in the office, especially during a meeting. You know, it's not like there's tubing juice all over the office in New York because he just can't stop touching his dick during meetings. Like, God damn it, Jeffrey, we're still talking. Put that thing away. Yeah, these no nut Novembers you guys are telling me. Yeah. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand what it's supposed to prove either. I have domain over my penis. Really? How soon did you masturbate after No Nut November was over? How soon did you start doing it again? I don't know about you gentlemen, but when I was younger, man, I masturbated daily, at least once a day. That's no joke. And that was whether I had sex or not. Sometimes I had a ton of sex during that day and still like, she asleep, I'm going to touch this thing. Frank, thank you. Joking with guys at work, I ended up arguing with one of the feelers. I had said there's two toes. I'm guessing that's two kinds of guys. It says two toes of guys. Those who admit they jerk it and liars. He swore he didn't because he can get laid. So that's proof he's the second half of that. Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. There's two types of guys, those who will admit it and those who are ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it. So, Ava says, I'm the boss of my vagina. But see, men and women are different. Y'all's vaginas don't control you the way our penises do. These things whisper to us. Like, hey, listen to me. I want you to do something for me. And we're like, I don't want to do that. And your penis is like, yeah, I need you to do that. And we're like, I don't want you to. And I'm like, listen, it'll be fun. And you're like, all right. And then you end up doing something you can never tell your friends about. Yeah. I usually can't go more than 2 days. Seriously, man, daily. When I first learned what masturbation is, I did that shit so much I rubbed the skin right off my dick. That is true. Nobody told me about lube because it was something I discovered on my own. And nobody told me about chafing because it was something I discovered on my own. There was no rule book for that shit. So, that was fun. I need to do it again. Holy shit, it's starting to hurt. I think I'm bleeding. Well, it still feels good. Yeah, man. That shit was... Whew. Whew. You women have no idea. And you're lucky that you don't, because it's painful. It can be painful. Oh, man. That's what foreskin is for, and why circumcision is bad. That's what lube is for, man. Just get some lube. You're fine. Spit on it if you got nothing else. Spit is the duct tape of sex, man. You need to fix it, spit on it. It'll go in. Just saying. Thank you, Paul. Monkey. The dick has so much power because we only have so much blood to run the brain and dick. That is true. I forget who I first saw. Was it Robin Williams? I forget who I first saw say that, but yeah, it's like we have a brain and a penis and only enough blood to run one at a time. And so, yeah, a little bit less blood in the brain because there's suddenly this new place it's got to go. Spit is a WD-40 of sex. Now, see, WD-40 doesn't fix everything. Duct tape does. And that's why I say spit is the duct tape, because like it won't go in. There it goes. Yeah, it was Robin. Okay. I remember getting kind of a rug burn on it because of the panties the girl was wearing. It hurt to wank, but still did it. What, you banged a chick who was still wearing panties and you got the rub on the side? Yeah, that always sucks. Y'all ladies, man, just stop wearing panties. It makes it so much easier. It's hump day. We can talk about this. Flex tape. That's right. Spit will put a boat back together. It'll make the little man in the boat open up. How did we get here? Who started this shit? Jeffrey started this shit. That motherfucker. All because he had to go and wank it. Can you guys imagine? Can you imagine waking up one day and the entire world is talking about a specific instant of you masturbating and people seeing it? Holy fuck. That poor motherfucker. Again, if he had done it on purpose, I'd be like, fuck him. But accidentally doing it, that had to hurt. That had to fucking hurt. Can you imagine going in to talk to the boss? Oh my. There's times I've had to go in and talk to my boss. I'm like, oh, this isn't going to be pleasant. On a scale of 1 to 10, those were a 1 compared to what Jeffrey's 11 was. Good God. I would have to get a cabin in the woods, right? Yeah, I'd be like, okay, I've made a good chunk of money. I'm out. Fuck this shit. I'm out. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm somebody who doesn't get embarrassed that often. But even with that, have you guys ever been caught masturbating? I have. It happens. Because we're not very smart about it, ladies. We're not. And we're not like you. We don't like candles for ourselves and shit. It's not a romantic experience. But you're doing your business and then suddenly the wife walks in like, God damn it. And she don't offer to help. It's not like the movies. You're not having butt sex 10 minutes later. That's not how it works. She's just like, what are you doing? And like, nothing. I was just cleaning it. Yeah, we have a lot of shame about masturbation. We really do. And again, that's a good thing. We don't want people just masturbating in the streets, but I mean, it should be, oh, I'm sorry, I'll leave you alone so you can finish. And you should be like, get the fuck out. I'm trying to do something here. Eat that or come in and help. But instead we're like, nothing. I'm not, nothing at all. I'm just, I was looking for my keys. Yeah, so much shame over our sex lives, don't we? my dad was dating this woman once, and I was in my bedroom having sex. I can't remember with who. It was a long time ago. And she came in my room without knocking. Like, bitch, you don't even live here. But she came in and she's like, oh my God. She closes the door real quick. And I finished what I was doing. I didn't like jump up and get dressed and shit. I finished what I was doing. And then later, I come downstairs to get some dinner. And she's like, I am so sorry that I saw that. I'm like, well, just knock and it'll take care of that next time. I didn't care. It's like, stay the fuck out of my room. I didn't come to you. I don't know why you're embarrassed about it. You have sex too. We really are. We're so, yeah, just don't say anything, bitch. Right. There's no reason to bring it up. Or at the very least be like, I'll knock on your door if I come in before anymore. Like, yeah, that'd be kind of you. It's my fucking room, weirdo. I think she wanted to see. I think she'd heard me and wanted to see how big my dick was. Then again, I may have been reading too much Christian Science Monitor. There was something else I was going to talk about. My daughter might listen to this. Sweetie, if you're listening, I'm so sorry your dad is like this. Sometimes I do feel bad for my kids. I really do. Their dad doesn't know when to shut the fuck up sometimes. Yeah. It's got to be hard if you're not open like I am, to have somebody like me. I try to respect their boundaries and stuff, unless I'm making horrible jokes at dinner. Because every so often somebody will make a comment and it can be, it's perfectly innocent comment, but of course, sometimes things come out wrong. And I'll just go, and then you were born. So it sounds like whatever it was they said led to me and their mom having sex. And that makes them very uncomfortable. Hey, Jack.
Hello.
When did you get here?
About 10 seconds ago.
Oh, thank God. I never heard it. I just happened to look over and I haven't been looking at the screen.
No, there's a storm going through, so my power was a little fluctuating earlier, so I wasn't able to join you prior to this.
Well, there's a couple of jokes there, but Mighty Balls that says, where's Jack? Is Jack off tonight? Jack's right there. That was perfect timing for that joke.
I know.
Yeah, I've been going it alone, so to speak. We were talking about Jeffrey Toobin and masturbation in general and sex in general and how we still have our Puritan roots here. We still have so much shame about sex and especially if somebody knows you did it. Like, I don't care if you know I did it. Stop listening, freak. Turn the TV up or something. Now, there was a time when I shared a wall with the family next door in one of the places we lived. And they did call to complain because I was keeping their kids awake. In fairness, it wasn't me, it was her. But at that time I did like, okay, we need to be a little quieter. Because they were in their own damn house. So
yeah,
that was on me.
I hate having really loud women.
Me
it's
too.
annoying.
Yes.
It's not so much that you want to show off. It's just irritating after a while. Like, do you have to scream right in my fucking ear? Or in my case, do you have to scream 4 feet away from me as you bent over my sofa?
4 feet? How long's her fucking body?
Well, doggy style is a fun thing, and I don't really want to deal with her bad breath or anything, so.
Yeah, but the torso isn't 4 feet long.
She's bent over. She's 4 feet from my face. That's 4 feet.
I feel like that's not 4 feet.
I don't know. I don't sit there with a yardstick. That'd make it weird.
By the way, guys, don't do that because you can still get COVID. That's not social distancing, Jack.
It is in my world, so.
That is two-thirds the distance. Do
ball gags count as mess?
No, I'm not a fan of really loud.
You're a bad influence.
Me?
Yeah, diagonally, Kylus. Exactly.
I still feel like that's not 4 feet.
Well, let's see. I don't have a tape measure nearby where I can reach one. My toolbox is a little further away. But yeah, I'm thinking my
somebody
torso,
do the geometry.
Well, okay, so from my waist to my face is about 2.5 feet. So if she's bent over, her face is, I usually date really short chicks, but yeah, diagonally from my face to the back of her head is gonna be about 4 feet. Take a string,
guys. Somebody do the math for me. Oh, hi, Shoe0nHead, who says keep up the good work, dude. I missed the whole beginning, but I'm about to rewind and watch it. If you talk shit, I demand a full refund. I did not talk shit. And hi, how are you tonight? Hope you're. What a time for her to walk in. Somebody do the geometry for me. You have 2.5 on a right angle triangle. What's the slant?
I'm not good at math, so I'm just making this shit up.
It's been a while since I've done geometry. I don't remember how to do that. So, but it's a right triangle with 2.5 by 2.5.
My geometry teacher hated me because I knew nothing about what the hell he was talking about. So I would make all the trapezoids and stuff into little tanks and create a war story for him over the course of the test. And he gave me points for getting my name on it.
Expo Hotep says 3.54. So it's 3.5 feet. Yeah, see? It's not 4 feet. Good God.
Close enough. I don't know. I don't sit there and measure that during sex. That's weird.
That's barely half social distancing, man. Your dick's going to get the COVID cough.
Well, that's going to give her something when it coughs.
Oh. See, I knew our audience would be smart enough to do geometry. See, we didn't need a tape measure for that. That's what geometry's for, Jack.
0.53. You round up. That's 4. You don't round fractions down. You round them up. If it's 3.5, you round up.
You don't need to round up. No, time out. You don't need to round up from 3.5 feet to 4 feet.
Sure you do.
It's a difference of 6 inches.
That's what she said.
God damn it.
You walked right into that one.
Oh, so did she.
No, she backed into that one. I don't know why you send me the link sometimes.
It's
hi, Shoe0nHead.
Hey, Shoe.
Sorry you walked in on this.
Now she's really going back to the beginning. Fuck. All right. Wow. I don't know where
people
to go
watch this shit.
I had a different topic before I got onto masturbation.
I don't know. You let me in the room, so
I appreciate you coming. Oh God.
Nobody said that about tubing.
There's things that come out of my mouth in a medium like, nope.
Yeah, she said the same thing.
It's gonna be like that. Gonna be like that.
I'm glad the power came back on.
Me too. I was getting lonely here, man. I was gonna have to rub one out. I don't have a video camera. Corey, thank you. Wait, weren't we just saying that doing science isn't meant to prove anything, right? We weren't doing science, we were doing math.
Science is more organized. Math is sort of like wizardry. If you believe it'll work, it works. I'm pretty sure that's a fact.
Yes. Jack, before we move on, I do have to ask you.
Yes, sir.
We had a little argument here, and I've seen the same argument. Do you feel bad for him at all?
For tubing?
Yeah.
No, cover up your fucking webcam, idiot.
Well, that's why I do have a little bit of sympathy for him, because he thought it was off. If he had done it knowing it was on, fuck the guy. But it's not like he was trying to do it, so it's just an unfortunate boomer moment. So I feel bad for him because that's a horrible thing to get known for, you know?
Yeah. Well, I feel bad for his kids because
somebody else said that, yeah.
He's gross too, so it's even worse because like now you have to look at your gross dad's wang everywhere because people are going to leave that in your locker and shit at school.
You know, and real quick, Angry, thank you. As funny as you guys are, I may have to tell my wife not to listen after an hour into the show. I don't blame you.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I am sure by this point, if my daughter is listening to this, she's turned it off on the replay. Love you, kiddo.
Your daughter must hate me.
You know what? I should ask her. What do you think of Jack? He's an asshole, so it's karma. Yeah, but again, I mean, especially with how we view sex in the society, that's a hard thing, man. Hard thing.
Well, I don't know. He was pretty globular. Look, I'm body shaming a little bit, perhaps, but
That's fine.
I think he's gross as a person and as a physical being. And
You know, and that's fair. It is, but I'm trying to be fair to him. And to me, that's the whole point of it is whether or not he meant to do it. And I don't think he did. I don't think there's any evidence he did.
no.
So
Well, what's worse? Like, you don't know that you're on the meeting and you're like, hey, the meeting's coming up. I better hurry up and rub one out.
well,
That's how I relax before an important meeting.
look, man, you're a guy. There's been times you've been sitting at home doing nothing. Is like, fuck it, I'll rub it.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's actually best to do that before a date because then you relieve a lot of the sexual tension on a date. So you do it before you get ready for your date.
My wife won't let me date, so.
Well, that's prude.
I know.
Have you
Can you
talked to
believe
her
it?
about her puritanical standards?
It's like, damn, loosen the chain a little bit, baby.
I know. What is this? The 1800s? Keep your laws off my body.
My body, my choice.
Yeah.
And she's like, my divorce, half your shit.
Yeah, half. Go with that. Hope for
Right.
the best. Dangerous had a good one. He said, no, Jeffrey, this meeting is discussing the election.
Creek God says he should have gone to the restroom to rub one out. Look, there's a ton of things he should have done. Ton. Starting with not masturbating during a work meeting.
Yeah, that's a big one. And
That's hard
always
to get past that.
always wear a t-shirt, at least Donald Duck it, so the shirt covers your junk.
So you're fine with Lady Monkey dating? Hell no. We're not talking about my standards here. We're talking about hers. How dare you even bring that up? Jesus. What's he trying to turn this around on me for?
I don't know. People are weird like that.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is pretty messed up. I don't think he intended to get caught. I think that's pretty blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
Because he would have been way more celebratory about the whole thing. I feel bad for his coworkers now because they still have to work with them.
Oh, man. Real quick. Thank you, Corey. Do condoms? No, because you're not supposed to use a rubber mask on your head. So that's like hazmat right there.
Yeah, that's above and beyond.
Yeah. You can get a little cloth mask made for your dick. That would be like one.
Is that like 2-ply Kleenex or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh my God, we are in some shit here. Yeah, I think it was just an unfortunate incident that he got caught because he's a boomer and doesn't learn how your technology works, and always cover your webcam before you're actually using it.
I just love that. One of the things I saw is like, I bet nobody will shake his hand now. Like, all right, look.
Not during a meeting. It's busy.
If he disappears for 5 minutes and comes back, okay, maybe don't shake his hand. But you've rubbed your dick too. Stop it. You got dick on your hand too. Stop it. I am kind of curious because I haven't seen the pictures. I don't want to see the pictures. If something comes up that looks like it might be the pictures, I'll just scroll past. So don't try to like spring them on me. But I've heard he was naked, and that's the part that really is like, what? Do you get naked to masturbate, Jack?
No, not very often.
I mean, if I'm naked, like out of the shower on my way in, maybe. But it's not like it's like, oh, women, I know women who've like set the mood for themselves to go masturbate. We don't do that. We're just like, I'll pull it out and do it.
Well, men are much more utilitarian on that front, typically.
Yeah.
Maybe he was like oiling himself up or something. I don't know.
Fucking Stunlock. He says, sometimes I have 2 dicks on my hand.
Well, whatever makes you happy, dude. Thank you, Bubba Hotep. How come no article says if he finished or not? That is a good question.
How did he figure it out?
Somebody had to have said something.
Was like everybody on the Zoom call waving their hands back and forth rapidly going, hey, Jeffrey, your dick's out.
Yeah, I imagine that he eventually turned a speaker on or something and somebody's like, dude!
We can see what you're doing.
Yeah. Or somebody called him on a cell phone, I'm guessing. But maybe that added to the mood, like he's still going and talking on the phone.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they said, the one article that I read said that a phone call came in, and that's when he thought he turned everything off and started doing it. So there's a great question of who called him.
I don't know, but somebody asked in chat a second ago if he was jerking it to somebody on the call. And that's a legitimate question because nobody has ever said why he was jerking off.
And that's why I bring up this call, because we do know this man has cheated on his wife before.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, he's in the middle of a paternity suit right now. Oops. Wait. B Junkie says they did. They did what?
They called him?
Maybe he's saying they did say why he did it.
Oh.
Who said why they did it? B Junkie, were you there? Were you the other person on the phone? See, because with everything I know about it, until B Junkie tells us the rest, I would imagine that he's got some chick and she called him and he's like, well, they don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to go have some phone sex with her. I don't know. That would be the thing that made the most sense to me.
There's a lot of people I feel bad for in this situation, and none of them are him. Because his coworkers now have to interact with him at some point. Unless he gets, I guess maybe he's getting fired or quitting. I don't know. But those people still have to deal with that. And it's going to be kind of traumatic. I mean, he was an unattractive man.
But see, okay, I hear you. I do. But they could have turned around. They could be like, oh, fuck, no, I'm not watching this.
Well, I mean,
somebody tell Jeffrey he's jerking off on my screen and I really don't want to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Karamon said earlier, the black lady's face was hilarious. Yeah, they all had great reactions. Like, for fuck's sake. Put it away, Tubin.
Wouldn't it be great if, because I mentioned earlier, it's not like he does this in board meetings or something, if he had actually done that before too. So like, oh God, he's doing it again. Management talked to you about this once, dude.
What if you did that in like actual meetings? Hey, we're having a meeting. Jeffrey, keep your pants on. Yeah.
BG says sometimes you can't look away from a train wreck. I can look away from a dude rubbing his cock.
Yeah, that's not a train wreck. That's an entirely other beast. But Assassin's right.
That's gay porn is what that is.
Yeah, that's just gay stuff. Assassin's right. That dude did have a criminal-shaped forehead.
Fair enough.
He looks like he's up to something. So I don't know. But look, these people have to wonder, was he jerking it to me? Am I going to have to interact with this person again in any kind of public way? Because it's going to be awkward or hilarious, depending on how the employee reacts.
I would fucking love to be a friend of his. That would be fucking wonderful.
Oh, that dude would never live this down if I was
Fuck no. Ex-Bubba Hotep, thank you. I'm sure everyone on the call has seen worse scrolling the Christian Science Monitor looking for good research. Fair enough.
That's probably true.
You think he's going to get a lot of hand sanitizer for Christmas?
I think he's going to get a lot of Kleenexes and hand sanitizer, lotions. You know, Secret Santa is going to be the greatest thing ever at his office.
Yes. I don't know how you go back in there.
You don't. You quit. He's probably going to get fired for this. But if he does it, he should resign and try and do something else from home where he doesn't have to interact with people for a while. Like take a year or two off, then quietly get a job somewhere else.
He'll probably get fired from the New Yorker, but He didn't do anything to the people at CNN. He didn't do anything wrong to them. And he is a legal analyst over there on CNN, and they let him take personal time off to deal with a personal issue. Now, in fairness, if the New Yorker or New York Magazine, whichever it is, I keep getting them confused. So whatever. New
Yorker.
If they would have given him time off for personal issues, none of this would have happened.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, this is on them. That's not his fault.
I need 20 minutes personal time.
Dude, he's a guy. You know better than that. I need 5 minutes personal time.
Yeah, but he asked for 20 in case you got to pee afterwards.
True. Yeah. Oh, my God. Doesn't matter if you wear pants on the radio. Dude, there's times I haven't worn pants on this show. I've told you I have trouble wearing pants. I'm still wearing underwear. I've never done it naked. I have done it in a towel once. My laundry was in the dryer.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
As long as I don't have to see it, whatever.
Yeah, and I didn't tell you when it was, and I didn't talk about, oh, man, my balls are kind of open right now.
Everything's free-flowing, and there's a draft.
And I never wear shirts doing this, you guys. My boobies are out and proud right now.
That's just for Lady Monkey to twist when you're not looking.
Oh, she's mean.
She enjoys that a lot. Pants on the Radio is a great name. It really is.
You have to speak up, Jack. I'm wearing a towel. I thought I was muted.
Oh, man. Yeah, what a mistake. Like I said, it's poor kids. They got to deal with this, and they're going to catch it worse than he is.
I've said this before. I don't understand how, like, porn queens have kids. Because I've been a young boy, Jack. I know the kind of things we say to each other that aren't true. And it's going to kind of be like that episode of South Park where they kept saying that Cartman's mom was on the cover of Crack Whore magazine, and then they actually find a copy of it, and she's on the cover.
Yeah.
This is the age of the internet. Anybody, what's her name? Jenna Jameson. Jenna Jameson. I've seen that shit, that bitch do some dirty shit. And she got kids now. And one day they're going to go to school, and their friends or their enemies are going to bring in pictures of her mom taking it in the butt.
Yeah. I dated a chick whose mom was a porn star, and she was really messed up. Like, really messed up. So she had all kinds of issues. So yeah, I don't know. I think it depends on where you live. If you live in like, Southern California, it's probably a lot more normal because that's where a lot of porn stuff is filmed. Same with like Tampa and Miami. So
sure,
that's probably more common and a lot more open. But if you live in like Nebraska or something, your life is over as a social butterfly.
Dangerous says they all have smartphones now. They're going to bring in videos. No, they're just going to send videos to the kid. Like, your mom's a whore, and he's going to spread it to the whole class. Like, here's your mom getting gangbanged. How do you do that to a kid, man? I've always wanted kids, so I had kids. But you know what I didn't do, Jack? Go into the adult film industry.
Yeah. I don't know. That's going to be hard to deal with. I guess it depends on how hot their mom ends up being at the time. Because, like, if she ends up getting really, really ugly, she could be like, that's not me.
B. Janky says Jameson is a hardcore conservative and Christian now. She really is. She is. I used to follow her on Twitter just to watch. And not watch her as I've seen her in the past, but like, you've changed.
That happens with a lot of porn stars. They end up becoming very religious or becoming very conservative later in life because they're very damaged people most of the time.
Yeah.
And when they start getting their stuff sorted out, they tend to get on a different track. And a lot of them come out against porn or will like trying to help people that were escorts or in the sex industry. It's a very interesting transition. But real fast, thank you, Jordan250, for the donation. My doctor told me I had to quit masturbating. When I asked why, he said, so I can finish my exam. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Nuts for dropping our links in the chat, guys. We are brought to you by you. Hit that like button, hit the share button. Okay, if you don't share this one, I understand. But if you are so inclined, toss some shekels at me and Jack, because we like to eat and have electricity. And Jack, I got my new heater, and it works wonderful.
Awesome. That didn't take long.
No, just 2 days for the install, and it's amazing. It seems to provide much more steady heat too, so this is wonderful. Caramon says this is the perfect one to share. This is the one to share with people who have a good sense of humor.
Sadly, there's fewer and fewer of them.
Don't share this with any Karens you know, because I like having a channel.
Yeah, we're being sex positive, Monkey.
We really are. And that's a great segue to what I was about to say, Jack.
Oh no.
No, I'm being serious again. I have nothing against porn. As long as the people involved are all of age and consensual, I don't care. Fuck whoever you want to. That's my motto in life. Between consenting adults, fuck whoever you want to. As long as you're not married, or if you are married, you're in an open relationship, don't do that shit. It never works out. But as long as you're an adult, I don't give a fuck what you're doing with your dick. I really don't. Or your vagina. You do you. But there are problems in the porn industry. We have a ton of problems in the prostitution industry because they won't legalize it. So it's mostly underground and people get forced into it and horrible shit happens. And women have nowhere to go when something bad happens in that thing.
Yeah.
We have a lot of problems that go back to our puritanical roots that we should fucking solve. And a lot of it would be solved if we just stopped being, so British about it.
Yeah, one of the problems with prostitution is that the human trafficking is off the charts. So if it was legalized, I think there would be a lot more measured control over that because there'd be oversight. You'd have people getting regular health screenings, and they'd run background checks for licensing purposes, that sort of thing. So you could kind of keep an eye on it. And the cops would be more inclined to assist people that were actually human trafficked, as opposed to punishing them. They would see them more as like tax evaders.
Well, it also, I mean, all you got to do is look at prohibition. When you tell people they can't do something, they're going to do it illegally. When you make it legal again, how much illegal booze is sold these days? How many? When was the last time you heard of a fucking rum runner? When was the last time you heard of the Duke Boys? Now there's a show my wife used to watch. I forget what the name of it was, but it was about these people who had illegal stills.
Oh yeah, that's different. That's always like a bunch of hillbillies and shit.
Well, that's what it was too. But they just had a big boom in the 1920s.
Yeah, I had a roommate that used to make beer in our basement, which, I mean, that thing looked like a giant bomb to me. Because it's like, this thing's going to blow up. He's like, nah, it's fine. It only caught on fire like 3 times. But, yeah, I have no problem with people making their own booze. Here in my state, you can make a set amount every year without having to get a license.
Yeah.
And if other states would do that, I think you'd see a lot fewer of these illicit stills.
Well, even then, I mean, it's not like it's that much. And the point being is that if they would legalize prostitution, people wouldn't have to go to illegal prostitutes. More people would go to the legal ones. So you have less demand for trafficking because there's a whole legal route to do it. Will there still be some? Of course. And that's what the law enforcement would go after instead of fucking with women who are just trying to make money with their vagina.
Yeah. Well, it'd be a lot like Vegas does. You go outside of Vegas into the county, and it's legal out there, but only in one specific county. But the brothels are all licensed. They have to have health checks. They have to have all their paperwork in order, and everything's kosher.
James Colley, thank you so much. It says rum runner sounds like a sex position. Actually, I believe it's a boat, and I got the wrong terminology there. I forget what the moonshiners were called. Wait, were they just moonshiners?
Yeah, there's moonshiners.
What were the drivers called?
They're rum runners.
Is that what they were? Did I
Yeah.
get that right on accident?
Yeah, because rum used to be really easy to make, apparently.
Gotcha. Okay, so I was right. I thought it was a boat. My bad.
Oh, there might be a boat called the Rum Runner.
Dude, I don't
Bootlegger.
fucking know.
Yeah.
Bootlegger, that's the word I was looking for. Anyway, yeah, I wonder about these poor kids going to school when mom was a sex worker. You know, mom was an e-thought. Can you imagine the first kid that's got to be told his mom was an e-thought?
Yeah, well, I mean, can you imagine your kid having to stand up for you being like, you should at least join her OnlyFans and pay for that shit.
Right. I don't understand why people don't take their kids into account with that.
I don't think they're thinking that far in advance. The handful of porn industry people that I've met over the years, they've all been very of the now. Because a lot of them are drug addicts anyway.
Sure.
Incredibly fucked up people. So they tend to be kind of damaged, and I don't think they have that kind of foresight that they're going to be like a middle-class wine mom in their 40s.
E-thoughts don't make kids, they write suicide notes. What? Oh, man. You think Jeffrey Toobin will get an OnlyFans?
If he's smart, he will. Because there's probably a market for fat, hairy dude jerking it.
There's women who like their chubbies, man.
Thank God.
My mom is Pokimane. Look, as far as I know, Pokimane is clean at least, right?
I don't know. I like my channel.
No, I'm not insulting her. I'm being serious. Isn't she? She does like just gaming stuff. She doesn't actually like flop the boobies out or anything.
I've actually never seen any videos of her. I've only seen like a couple of clips people put on Twitter and heard some of the stuff she's said and done. So I don't care about these kind of what are they called, gamer girls or whatever.
Yeah. Well, she's huge, and you know me and my love of drama, and she's gotten into quite a few. And
yeah,
she is the kind of person that I do pay attention to. She is the kind of person that has abused the copyright system.
Oh, absolutely. But she's also heavily favored because people at YouTube love her for some reason.
James says Pokimane is a clout chasing hoe. Is she? I mean, she has all the clout. She's like the biggest girl gamer on Twitch and one of the biggest gamers overall on Twitch. She don't have to chase much clout. But did you see she was fucking gaming with AOC?
No.
Yeah, they were playing About Us together. Yesterday or the day before? Yeah, it's yesterday. AOC put out onto Twitter that she was thinking about playing About Us to get people to vote and wanted to know if people wanted to join her. And Pokemon went, I'll do it. And AOC goes, awesome. I got to get the gear to do it. And so apparently they did it for several hours today. And all I could think of, the Senate hearings, Jack, all through the Senate hearings, we heard, we should be focused on COVID right now. Do you think any of those assholes told AOC she shouldn't be playing video games, that she should be focusing on COVID?
I doubt it.
I have a feeling they didn't. I have a feeling they let that one slide because it's okay. But it's Pokemon Go to the polls.
Maybe that's what Tubin was watching.
That's probably what he's watching tonight.
Oh, thank you, Evolved Potato, for the donation. In my state in Oz, at least prostitution is legal. There are brothels, and there are people that work from their home. Oh, that's awkward. They have to get tested regularly and no raw dog in it. I did a whole giant assignment on it in my high school legal class. Yeah, I think that's going to be the future before too much longer here, too. I think you're going to see it legalized probably in the next 10 years. When pot got legal, I was sure, I was positive prostitution was coming. And, I think it will. I really think it will.
I still don't get why it's not. When you guys have the slogan, her body, her choice, how the fuck do you not support prostitution? Is there any more accurate phrase for that? Her body, her choice. They use that for abortion where you get into the argument over whether it's cells or a baby in there. You don't even have to get into that. It's just literally her body, her choice.
Well, I think
and bitches be like, nah, she can't make that choice.
Well, if you're a treasury agent, it would be her body, her tax avoidance system.
That fair enough. Think of all the money that would be made for the government when they legalize that, just from the senators and Congress people who use them.
Oh yeah, it'll be quite a bit.
BG says there's a lot of sex negative feminists. It's I don't want to call them sex negative. They're prostitution negative, because they'll happily talk about using their vagina to do all kinds of horrible shit, but they just don't want women selling it. And I don't understand that.
Well, I don't want to pay for it. I want to give it away to me.
Like, hey, I don't want to pay for it. And if I ever get into that circumstance, I will be ashamed of myself. I'll still do it, but to quote George Carlin, selling is legal, fucking is legal. Why isn't selling fucking not legal? Exactly, ex Bubba Hotep. Thank you for the donation. I've never understood it, and the only thing that I can think of is that prostitutes, same thing. Politicians have wives. Politicians have wives, and what married politician wants to go, I think we should have whores? His wife be like, what?
One on his way to divorce court.
Yeah, he doesn't want half his shit gone. Yeah, there was something I wanted to talk about, Jack. Let's see if I can find it, because I don't remember what it was exactly. I do want to point this out. Who sent this? Shroom sent this to us, and by way of James Woods. It's a little kid with sunglasses on, a cigarette in his mouth, and a bottle of wine, naked, and his mom saying, no, you can't be Hunter Biden for Halloween.
Yeah, I saw this, and yeah, it's funny shit. Did you see the news stories that were coming out about the pictures?
Yep. Yeah, I talked about that a little bit earlier. Not a good look.
Yeah.
God, man, my memory today is weird, Jack. I'll remember something and then immediately forget it. Oh, this is it. It's Jack, you ever read or hear something and you just immediately like, oh yeah, men and women are different? It just smacks you in the face.
Yeah.
This is a lady I follow. Her name is Sarah Rose. And I'm not slamming this chick at all.
We were just talking about banging.
Not talking about any kind of slamming of this woman. She just said something that made me go, oh, damn, men and women are different. She said this. Have you ever had a conversation with a woman in your life about her past sexual experiences? I'm not talking about how many partners she's been with. Not that that matters. I'm talking about how she feels about sex and her sexuality at her core. Jack, do you know how you feel about your sexuality at your core?
Yeah, I like vagina.
I like vagina, but I've never sat there and went, I need to deep dive into my own sexuality. That's a woman thing.
Yeah, it is. But I guess for men, the translation to that would be asking your girlfriend if she's into a third person. Like, can I bring another chick into this? Or do you like it in the butt? That sort of thing. She's talking about, like, do I feel like my inner goddess is being released through my golden butterfly? Weird shit like that.
My golden butterfly. It's buttery today, guys.
I don't know what they call their dillies.
It's just a weird thing. If my wife came to me and said, I want to talk to you about your sexuality at your core, I'd be like, I'm straight. And that'd be the end of the conversation.
Yeah, I'd be like, are we going to bang? Is that what this is? I don't know what's happening right now. Is this going to involve me buying flowers to spread around the petals so that you feel romantic?
I don't even know what sexuality to her core means. And I get you what you're trying to say with the translation there, but this is ridiculous shit. Ladies, do you like the sex? That's all you got to. They make it such a big fucking deal. Everything about their vagina is such a big deal. It's not, ladies, I love vagina. I do. But seriously, it's not that important.
Yeah.
Y'all got to go ahead.
They're overanalyzing.
Y'all got to stop tying your worth to your sexuality.
Yeah. It's tiresome.
It is. And look, I'm not saying don't try to be better in bed, because y'all should. Even the best of you can work a little bit harder. Come on.
Yeah, like don't lay there like a sack of wheat. I think that Midnight really summed this up succinctly. We don't need to have a 7-hour conversation. Put on the Goblin Queen costume and start sucking.
Fair enough, yeah.
I think that really kind of gets right to the core of it.
But the question was specific. Have you guys ever asked your woman? Not have you guys ever asked your partner so they could go either way?
Yeah.
Because we all know men would be like, "The fuck are you talking about? The fuck? What do you mean my sexuality is my core? The fuck does that mean?"
I don't know. I mean, to me, that sounds like a 2-minute conversation. Like, are you gay? No. Do you have a penis? No. Okay. You want to do it?
Yeah. Women have whole books about this shit, about their femininity and their womanly power and shit. Like, y'all, seriously, ladies, and maybe not you guys in the chat, because most of you guys are sweet, but you tie your vagina to your importance way too much. It's why, like, we have to talk about periods. We don't. We really don't. It's a natural thing from a woman. We don't care.
Yeah, so's pooping. I don't want to talk about that either.
There's no reason to have a conversation about it. If you stink, go see your doctor. But otherwise, nobody else wants to hear about it either.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's weird to watch, Jack. And you see it especially like in the comedy right now, where everything is vagina jokes.
Unfunny ones.
Unfunny, yeah, most of the time. And like, men can talk about their dicks on stage. Like, how often do they actually do it? When was the last time you went to a comedy club and a guy's like, "So this chick wanted to see my dick, right? And on its best day, it smells like rotten sausage."
Yeah, I've never heard that. I don't think there's probably been a couple guys that made dick jokes, but it's pretty rare. I mean, the last time I had a dick joke come up was this guy Jeffrey Toobin, a Zoom call. Because that was a joke. Yeah, dude, it just doesn't come up that much. It's very limiting as a stand-up routine.
Yeah,
to rely so heavily on that. That's why Amy Schumer flops so often.
Shiro says, other than Dice Clay, never. Even he didn't do it that much. Like Jack said, you might hear a dick joke or 2 dick jokes. They will talk about vagina for 20 minutes. Just nothing but their pussy. And like, oh my God, it's not that funny. And even to the point, like in the Amy Schumer show, where nobody was laughing. Nobody cared. You've overdone it. And then that Chinese swimmer, she swam when she was on her period. Like, oh my God, did she survive? Like, we have to talk about this because in China, they don't usually talk about periods. Good. We don't need to know. Ladies, seriously, we love your vaginas, but we don't need to know everything about them. You do your maintenance, and we'll be over here when it's ready for us. Jack is muted, meaning he's jerking. Well, yeah, at least he was kind enough to turn off the camera.
I'm eating dinner. I had no power for a couple hours, so I haven't eaten yet.
Virgil says, "Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry, guys. We're getting ready to wrap up. Monkey's tired. My ass has been up since 8 o'clock this morning." So no, it was 9.
No, that's quitter talk. We're good for another 3 or 4 hours.
I had to change my schedule so I could be up for these guys while they're working on this. And this has been rough, real rough. Yesterday, I got 3 hours of sleep. And then last night, I got off the stream. I told them I'm going to bed. I sent you a message. I put a message on Twitter. And then I laid down in my bed, and I don't remember anything until about 10 o'clock. Well, 9 o'clock in the morning. My clock in my room is an hour fast. And it's a weird clock, Jack, because I can't change it. There's no way to set it. It sets automatically. And over the years that we've had it, it's just slowly gone up to it's an hour and 10 minutes fast right now. Yeah, so when I woke up, my clock said 10. I was like, oh shit, all right, I gotta get out of bed. But yeah, I slept what is that? Went to bed. It's almost 7 hours. For me, that's a long time.
Yeah, holy shit.
Kellerig, thank you. The last time I heard a dick joke was Bill Engvall talking about how men have bad dick days, just like women have bad hair days, and that was years ago. He did. He made the he was saying men don't have bad dick day. Well, I'm trying to remember the exact. Did he say we actually do? Some days it could look better. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I remember the jokes. I just don't remember it exactly. But again, he wasn't like my dick. He was making a random joke about it, and it was like a 2-minute bit. That was it was either an hour and a half show, and that was a 2-minute bit. It wasn't like 90% of his show.
Yeah, that's stupid. If one or two jokes does not make it a pattern,
No.
if they're making half their show about it, yeah, but.
And it's not even just that. It's everything. Everything. We have to talk about the power of vagina. The empowering. All right, look. I've seen what happens to that thing. I've seen it destroyed as a alien pops out. That it doesn't look empowering at all, Jack. It looks like torture, to be honest with you. Look, if you guys have never seen, Bad Wiener Day, that's the joke, X Bubba. Look that up, guys, if you haven't seen it. If you've never seen a woman actually give birth, and I'm not talking, don't look at the vagina if you don't want to. Just watch her face as she's pushing out this kid. It's horrible, Jack. I wanted to punch the doctor because they made my wife count to 10. And I swear to God, not made her count 10. They made her push while they were counting to 10. And they were counting like this. 1, 2. And she's holding her breath as she pushes because they told her to. Hey. And it must have taken like 60 seconds to get to 10. I was going to punch that bitch. Like, let her breathe. Her face was all purple and shit.
Yeah, she's pushing. She's got focus on that.
Mighty Balzac, Andy Dick is a bit of a joke. Andy Dick's a dick.
Yeah, he's a weirdo.
Use a Mississippi method for no shit. Yeah, and they actually say 10 seconds, and then they count to 10, and that's like 30 seconds at least. At least.
It probably seems a lot longer when you're standing there with your wife in agony.
Excuse me. Yeah, maybe no, but it was a very slow count. I was holding my wife's legs the entire time. Shit was wild. She got my daughter out with 3 pushes and didn't even poop. Yeah, wow. They don't tell women about that. Yeah, but you might poop on the table.
Well, you use the same muscles to push babies out as pooping. So that's what I've heard.
Yeah, so make sure you poop before you have that kid.
Water broke. Time to poop. Eat light like a salad.
Don't have any Taco Bell in the days leading up, man.
Oh, yeah, your doctor might punch you if you start spraying Taco Bell on him.
Suddenly he's got green sauce on him.
Yeah. Is that mild? What is that?
Oh, man. Oh, God. Where the hell are we?
I don't know. You started it. I
didn't start it.
Well, I'm not taking responsibility for this.
I might have started this one. Being on the toilet is a good time for the water to break. Yeah. But it never breaks where it should, man. If you have a wife or a girlfriend who's pregnant and it's getting close to the time for her to have the baby, she will like be in bed, or she'll be standing on the only carpeted room in your house, or you'll be in the car and she'll do it on the seat. What I'm getting at is women should wear a diaper. Until that baby's out, they should be in a diaper because they're going to ruin your shit. Spinal Tap isn't that bad compared to the pain. The pains get the med. Poor Lady Monkey, she wasn't able to have anything for the last 2 babies because they came out so quick. Combined, her labor for the boys was just under 6 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Ex-Bubba Hotep, thank you. I'm so sad looking at my medieval dynasty and seeing no saves. I was on year 8 or 9, I believe. Poor bastard. So Jack, he just redid his computer, so he lost everything. But the day he did it, the game implemented a cloud save.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but he didn't see it before he did it.
Oh, boo. Oh, that's
Yeah.
even worse.
Yeah, so he did it, and then he sees that he just lost it all when he could have saved it.
Oh, I'm sorry. That
Yeah.
sucks.
And 8 years in that game, what is it, an hour and a half, I think is what I timed it out to be for each season. So what is that? 6 hours for a year, something like that. Maybe it's only 4 hours for a year. So what, 32 hours worth of time at least? Yeah. Funny story about that monkey. My sister ate some contraband Taco Bell about an hour before she gave birth, threw up and shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Yeah. It's not a pleasant experience for the women. That's true. And it is weird how quickly they forget what it was like.
Yeah. They always talk about, oh, it's so magical. No, I've seen that crap. That is a lie that women tell other women to sucker them into going through the same misery.
Look, it is absolutely gross. Now, when the baby's all the way out and you hold it for the first time, that part is magical, Jack. When you hold your child for the first time, I cried when I held my daughter for the first time. It was the first time I ever cried in my entire life for being happy. I didn't understand how people cried being happy, and then I saw her. The rest of that experience was fucking horrifying. It's like, I want to use that again one day. Could you do something? She's going to destroy it. Fix it. Your boy Pat says that part is magical. It is. It's the only part that is. And it's wonderful. But the rest of it's horrifying. And anybody who tells you differently is fucking lying.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have any kids. And I'm afraid to hold babies because they're so small and breakable looking. And then they scream a lot because they don't like me.
It's just a horrible thing to see. It really is. And it's part of, life. It's how we get them. Nothing we can do about it. Nothing we can change to make it easier. But people, they lie. They openly lie about it, man.
Look, no, I as far as I understand it, you have sex. She gets fat. They go into this little room in the back where she waits to sign for the delivery from the stork, and you pass out cigars, and then you go home with a screaming parasite that doesn't leave for 20 years.
You're mostly right about that. The signing part, you're just a little bit wrong.
I don't know. I'm not going back to those rooms to find out what happens back there. Sounds messy.
No, I've seen guys that are like, no, it was beautiful, the whole thing. Like, you're fucking lying. You're either lying or you were high. You were like on LSD and you were like, those colors are amazing. Because shit goes everywhere, dude.
Oh.
There's some squirting and some things you never wanted to hear in your life, and then baby.
Yeah, well, you don't look down there either because you're going to have to touch that again.
Oh, no. The doctor said, do you want to see this? And I said, yeah. And that was the wrong answer.
Absolutely.
Do you know what crowning is, Jack?
Yes, and no thank you.
For those of you who don't know what crowning is, it's where the baby's head is just about to pop out of the vagina. And at that point, the vagina, I'm sure somebody's going, you're using the wrong word. Whatever it is there, the opening is stretched as far as it can be around this little kid's head. That's crowning. And you know what a magic 8-ball is?
Uh-huh.
It's a little bit bigger around than that. Popping out of this poor woman.
I've seen pool balls come out, but
Yeah,
That's neither here nor there.
Riley says my wife split to the butthole. Yeah, I don't remember if Lady Monkey ever had to have stitches, but my friend's wife had to have like 4.
Oof.
Yeah,
Right on the taint.
Yeah, when their little girl came out, their youngest child, she like elbowed her mom in the cunt. She's like, bam, bitch. Yeah, fucking fucked it all up. She was fucked up for weeks, man. Oh, I'm glad I have a dick.
Yeah, being a woman, it seems very complicated. There's a lot of upkeep, and it seems really, I don't know, like a lot of work. And I don't want to shave, much less do all this other shit. So I don't know how they do it.
Riley says 10 weeks, no pussy. And that's why God gave him a mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the backup vagina.
Me and my sister both broke my mom's tailbone. Was I'm regularly reminded 35 years later. Yeah. I actually feel bad for my wife in that instance because my mother could pull I was in labor with you for 35 hours. My wife looks at my sons. I was in labor with you for 3 hours. Yeah, it just doesn't work as good. Yeah, I was a 36-hour baby, Jack. And I was born just after midnight. So my mom had to have gone in the hospital at noon one day, and I didn't come out all the way until the next night at midnight.
Wow.
I was an asshole from the beginning.
Apparently.
Oh, man. 1 hour, I was in a hurry. There you go. Yeah, with my grandchildren, most of them popped out pretty easy, too. The middle one, though, she took a while. She almost wasn't born on Halloween. She almost became a November 1st baby.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, man. Born just after when? Asked midnight. Just after midnight. I've always been a night owl, my friend. Jack, I've enjoyed tonight's conversation.
Oh, glad to help. I wasn't here for half of it, so.
Yeah, I have a feeling after this one, Shoe might never come back.
Oh, that bad, huh?
No, I was nice to her, actually. And I'll tell you about it when we get off the stream here. I just don't want to rehash it again. But if she makes it to the dick talk, I think then we're going to have a problem.
Yeah, well. Seems to be a theme with that.
Guys, thanks for stopping by. We really do appreciate you coming every night and supporting us and everything we do. Don't forget, we have our links down below for everything. Probably the most important is our Twitter, if you want to know where we're going to be. And then after that, if you'd like to support us, we have channel links to go check out. We have t-shirt stores. We have the Patreons down there. What else is down there, Jack? I don't know. Look at it. Look at it, for fuck's sake. It's there every night. How many of you look at it? I want to see the comments to this video filled with I looked at it. Hashtag two.
That could, yeah, I was going to say that could have some really interesting ramifications on this one.
Well, you know, people say, as always, we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. You fuckers never talk in the comments. Well, they do sometimes, Jack, and I don't talk back, and I feel bad about it. But most of you don't. Most of you don't. There's 230 people here. I want to see at least 3 comments. Jack, is there anything you'd like to show tonight?
I'll drop links to my latest videos. Thank you for the donations. You guys are awesome as always. It really does help. And thankfully, because of you guys, I was able to have this beautiful lasagna that one of my friends made after I bought the ingredients. It was like, come on, just make it. And she did. So, yeah, it's greatly appreciated. And be sure and like the stream because I see a lot of people in the audience, but not a lot of people hitting like. And share it around and share our channels and whatnot. It really, really helps because of the way the algorithm is set up.
No one says can't comment while it's live. I know that. But when we stop, it won't be live anymore. Go make a comment.
You'll want to come back and rewatch this because it's going to be like a cinema veritas. It's going to be classic.
Yes, it'll be wonderful.
And why we never run for office.
Evolve says, I'll comment how much of a prick Monkey is. Oh, that's going to be a long fucking post. If you're going to do all the reasons I'm a prick, that's a long one, Jack.
Yeah, that might be more of a novella.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Don't forget, tonight we're going to be on my channel for Lords of the Night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then I will start gaming again tomorrow sometime. I don't know when. But not tonight, guys, because Monkey is tired. Jack, I'm tired. I'm sick and I'm tired.
Oh,
I've been beating my dick this whole time. Guys, have a good one. Jack, thanks for joining me. Everybody, we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
I'm not really touching my dick, but you wouldn't know if I did. I've been rubbing this thing so long. Nothing good can be said from here.